Welcome back. It is Wednesday, October 30th in the NBA. 6 picks on the way for you guys on this big slate of NBA action, including a 1.5 unit play, which I'll talk about in just one moment. First, we need to recap how we did the previous day. We're always going to be transparent on here. A 1-4 day. It sucked. It hasn't been a great start to our season. Michael Porter Jr. went over. We appreciate him for doing his job. Markkanen got injured, which hurt our ladder challenge and our streak bet we had. Luka shot 10 for 27. I'll live with that. And same with Keegan. He went 2 for 7. Nothing you can do there if you get the volume and the guys just don't make their shots. And then the Mavericks and Timberwolves under for just a half unit play did lose. 1-4 day. You'll see on the screen, we're not doing a ladder challenge today. We're not doing a streak today. We're going to keep away from those gimmicky type things. They're fun, and they're fun when you're up, but they're not fun when you're losing money on them. So, look, we're not going to do those for probably at least the next week or two. I need to get back to what I'm best at, and that's straight bets. We've never had an NBA losing season, and I'm fine with the reads we've had in the NBA. But, we're just talking overall in 2024. MLB wasn't our best year. NFL's been all right this year. Last week wasn't a great one. We'll get that sport going recently. But, look, we got to be better. And you guys come on here and you watch these videos religiously, which I appreciate you, but you guys expect winners when you click on this video, and I'm going to start delivering winners. I'm locked in the lab every single morning, 5 a.m., getting you the best plays I can possibly find, and we're going to start with that today, and we're going to cook some winners up for you. You guys in? Let's have a monster end of October, November, December, and then the rest of the NBA season. So let's carry that energy over into the NFL, where I'm expecting another a big second half of the year over there. My final reminder, like I said, there might be an added play. If there is, it's in the pinned comment. I probably will look at some right after I get this video live, trying to find some other picks out there. And number 2, I don't like really promoting things on losing days, but it is a good promo out there, and I doubt Sleeper ever does the promo ever again. So for today and tomorrow, they're still running that 200% deposit match offer. Like, I don't think they're ever running the offer again after it closes tomorrow, but they already agreed to doing it until Halloween tomorrow. So, hey, if you want to sign up, make sure you use code COS. They'll match your first deposit up to 200%. So I think the match is $100. So if you deposit $100, it'll get you an extra $200. Pretty good offer. They'll also give you a free square. I don't know what it is today. They always do a new one, probably in the NBA, but check it out. Links in the description. Use code COS or the link at the top of the description. I appreciate it. You guys came here for picks, though. When I was at my best, we had the best bet segment, and you better believe it's returning today. We need to get dialed in. So my favorite pick of the day, if you're looking for one pick to tail from me, this is it. Jason Tatum over 27.5 points, -105 on BetMGM for 1.5 units. Maybe in a week or two, these might become 2-unit plays, depending on if we can get hot. I don't really want to force more than 1.5 units here, but it is my favorite pick of the day, so let's make it worth a little bit more than the other picks, which will be a lot of 1-unit plays and a half-unit play in there. But I like Jason Tatum over 27.5 points. If the line goes up to 28.5, I like it there. I almost took him for 30 plus. And if you don't know what units are, just a standard bankroll management term, 1.5 units. Jason Tatum, we're trusting you tonight. Now, Tatum so far this season has actually been kind of a roller coaster ride. 37 points in opening night, then 25, then 37, then 15. So law of roller coasters is he scores 37 tonight. But realistically, though, I really like this matchup for him. In that last game against Milwaukee, 6 for 16, 1 for 8 from 3. You also saw Jaylen Brown had 30, Pritchard had 28, Drew Holiday had 21. I will raise my hand. What is never going to happen again? Peyton Pritchard scoring 28 points unless it's the last game of the season. That's just not going to happen. He was scorched earth. I just don't think it's happening again. And same thing for Drew Holiday scoring 21 and Jaylen Brown scoring 30. I mean, Jason Tatum didn't really have to do much. I love this matchup for him against the Pacers. What happened in the Pacers last game? Paolo Banchero, 50 points. Why? Because, well, the Pacers' goal on defense, we're going to let your stars cook us, but we don't want the role players to get going. That's kind of what they try to do. They take away the three-point line. They let your stars go one-on-one, drive to the hoop. Fine, we'll live with it. They just don't want to get beat by the three-point line. They rather run up and down the court. They think they can outscore you if they're just letting one guy beat us instead of multiple. And that's what they're going to do. So we've seen Tatum take advantage of this matchup. 30 points. 9 straight games versus Indiana. In those games, he's attempted 19 or more shots in 8 of them and 20 or more in 7 of 9. Look, the volume's going to be there tonight for Tatum. Will he make his shots? I don't know. Your guess is as good as mine, but he should have plenty of volume tonight. Him and Jaylen Brown will have to carry this offense on the road in Indiana. We could see the Pacers wake up for this game and want to keep this one, and this one be a pretty tight game. So I like Jason Tatum a lot. I like his over 27.5 points. My favorite pick of the day. 1.5 units. Tatum is bringing home our money tonight. Give me his over 27.5 points. My second play is going to be a guy making his return to his hometown. And it's a guy, I think you know who he is. His name is LeBron James, over 29.5 points plus rebounds at -123 on Caesars, a 1-unit play. I went back and forth on taking just LeBron's over in points or his points plus rebounds. I ended up tacking on the rebounds for a couple different reasons. I'll talk about those in a second. But if you can only take the points, I would take that. If the difference between points is 22.5 versus points plus rebounds at 30.5, I kind of lean toward just taking the points, but I do like the rebounding matchup for him, and I'll talk about why in a moment. Now, obviously, LeBron makes his return to Cleveland, where he spent the majority of his career. And look, I don't know how many more games in Cleveland LeBron has. Obviously, he only plays there once a year unless they meet up in the finals, which, hey, that would be pretty cool if LeBron meets up in the finals this year with the Cavaliers. Unlikely, let's be honest. But only gets to play there once a year. So typically it's the game he has circled on his calendar, and I expect him to show up tonight. LeBron's last 4 games at Cleveland. So I'm just picking the one per year. Technically, a couple of these games, like the 2023 one was at the end of 2022. The 2024 one was at the end of 2023. But you get what I mean. One time per year, he's in Cleveland. 2021, 46-8. 2022, 38-10, and 21-17, and last year, 22-6. Did go under. Look, LeBron should be ready to go here. I do believe he said he was a little bit sick after their last game, and his usage hasn't been great this season, largely because Anthony Davis has been dominating. But this isn't the best match for AD with Jared Allen and Evan Mobley, two guys that are pretty good defenders in their own regard. And we've seen LeBron's volume tick up a little bit in these games. I mean, the last 4 of those 4 I just talked about, 26, 29, 17, and 23 shots. So far this season, he's only over this line in one game. That was a game against Sacramento when he had, 22 field goal attempts and he crushed them. I think this is another spot where he can crush this Cavaliers team. I don't know who they guard him with, Evan Mobley or Dean Wade, but I think that he'll just have the volume. Coming off a game he shot 21%. We know LeBron historically over 50% from the field. I think he'll be able to get to his looks, and it's kind of a narrative play. Back in Cleveland, I got to ride with the king. Also, why do I like his rebounds? Because I think he's going to be guarding Dean Wade. I don't know if they want to have LeBron in his 21st, 22nd season guard a guy like Evan Mobley. I think you let Rui Hachimura deal with that. AD deal with Jared Allen. I think you let him guard Dean Wade. And Dean Wade, I'll be honest, the man doesn't get the ball. He sits in the corner just to stretch the floor. He's not going to get many field goal attempts. So you'll see LeBron kind of sagging in there, just playing weak side, and hopefully the ball bounces his way for some rebounds. So I like this spot a lot for LeBron James. I think AD scores 20. I don't know if he gets those 27.5 line. I like LeBron a lot, over 29.5 points plus rebounds. Don't be shocked when Bronny and LeBron are on the court at the same time. Look, JJ Redick's going to want to do that, at least for a few minutes. So I like LeBron James. Give me his over 29.5 points plus rebounds. Let's hope he comes out aggressive tonight back in Cleveland. Now I'm going to throw it to Logan for his favorite pick of the day. I have a player prop in this game that he's about to talk about. I'll wait to talk about that one in a second. But Logan, I need a winner from you. A couple bad beats, a couple bad plays the last few days, but I need a spread pick winner. What you got for the people today?
For my spread pick today, I'm rolling with the Miami Heat +2. Look, I do like the Heat on the spread. If you want to take the money line, certainly gets my stamp of approval. It's just a personal preference, really, when it comes to NBA, playing short spreads or just taking a plus value money line shot. I just think the Heat have a potential to win this game. If we look at last season, because we have to kind of compare these two teams, the Knicks did win 2 of 3 against Miami last season, but that was a different Knicks team and a different Heat team. I think we can actually throw out those numbers. We just got to look at this matchup with that low total. I think defense is the deciding factor in this game, especially with that low total. So let's compare these two teams. Knicks 30th in defensive rating. Heat are 12th in defensive rating. Now, why am I bringing up defense specifically? Because both these teams are pretty slow playing. The Knicks and Heat are 30th and 29th in pace respectively. That kind of tells me defense is going to be the deciding factor. And the Knicks have not been great in their interior defense. They're allowing a 73.5% field goal percentage on shots less than 5 feet. That's worse than the NBA. 50% from 5 to 9 feet. That's 6th worst. And then 57% from 10 to 14 feet. That's 4th worst. All those numbers are to say the Heat should have some high percentage looks in the paint. Guys like Bam Adebayo, Jimmy Butler, etc. should be able to get their looks in the paint. And that's when I like backing this Heat team. I do not like watching them chuck up threes. It's just simply like what I hate to see from Miami, especially when they have guys that can go be scrappy down in the paint and get it done down there. The Heat also being scrappy, they have a slight rebounding advantage, 22nd in rebounding to the Knicks 28th in rebounding. I'll take the Heat rebounding any day over New York. And then there's a good chance the Heat do win this game outright. I mean, I take the points for safety, but I think they have all the necessary tools to be able to get this win or even cover. the +2 for us today. I really do like Miami. I backed them first game of the season. That was a mistake, but I'm back and hopefully not getting burned by the Heat. But Austin, throwing back to you for another pick.
Hey, like I said, I'm a fan of the Miami Heat on the +2.5. I think they can get the job done, if not win. And that kind of segues into my player prop, and it will use some notes that I gave Logan and he used for his Heat analysis. And it's Bam Adebayo. I like his over 14.5 points, -115 on DraftKings. This was a pick I actually almost took Bam for 20 plus points. I don't remember what the value was, maybe +210. So if you're looking for like a parlay, something like that, Bam for 20 plus, not the worst thing I've ever seen in the world. This is a big buy low spot for Mr. Bam Adebayo. He has not had the greatest start to his season. Maybe he's focusing a little bit too much time on Asia Wilson, and hopefully she smacked him silly and said, hey, get back in the lab and go start scoring some points. Let's hope so. But let's talk about Bam, though. His 3 games this season. 9 points on 1 of 5 shooting against Orlando Magic. Did get to the free throw line a good amount. That's how we get to 9. 12 points on 6 of 17 at Charlotte. 12 points on 5 of 9 versus Detroit. Obviously, I don't need to tell you, he's under in all 3 games. Now, I don't like the matchup against Orlando. Very tough defense. Same for Detroit. They're not the greatest defense in the world, but pretty good at limiting paint points, which is what they want to do. That's kind of where Bam gets his points. Charlotte, I've got nothing for you. 6 for 17. The volume was there. He just didn't make his shots. Tonight, I don't think he gets 17 field goal attempts, but I think he gets into that 12 to 15 range, and I love this matchup for him against the Knicks. Now, Bam Adebayo the last few seasons, he's averaged 18 plus points per game in 4 straight. I'm just confident the volume and the efficiency will return. Bam's last 9 games versus the Knicks, he's averaged a little over 17 a game, scoring 15 plus in 7 of 9. Now, I'm not going to go through all of these statistics that I gave Logan for him to talk about in terms of where the Knicks are giving up a lot of points and where high percentage looks are coming from, but a lot of them are close inside the basket. Well, and I put them back up on the screen. I just don't need to go through all of them. Last year, Bam attempted the second most field goal attempts, less than 5 feet, and the most in the 5 to 9 and 10 to 14 foot range. That's where he was grubbing. That's where he got all of his points from. This season, he's still most in the mid-range category, but he hasn't had a lot of attempts inside 5 feet. Do you know why? I don't. But maybe it's because of the defenses he's played against, like the Orlando Magic and the Detroit Pistons, who normally keep people out of that rim area. And so I think this is a spot where we finally get back to Bam Adebayo, throwing it to him in the post, using a lot of pick and rolls. And he hasn't made a 3 yet this season, but he obviously worked on it. Could see him make a 3 tonight. And I just think Cat's the weakness of this Knicks defense. Jalen Brunson, not the best defender, but the other guys, Hart, Bridges, and Anunoby, all known for being pretty good defenders. Cat has been the guy people have been attacking. He's not a good rim protector, and he's really just in drop coverage a ton. So people can target Tyler Hero, but I think you'll see eventually the Knicks make some adjustments. I think Bam gets the ball at the mid-range area, and they're like, hey, Bam, we think you could score on Cat. We think this is a good matchup for us. Go score. Will he score? I don't know. But I'll play his over 14.5 points. That line's too low. That line should not be 14.5. So I'll take it 1 unit on Bam Adebayo over 14.5 points. Hopefully he helps us get a Knicks plus or a Heat plus 2.5 winner as well. I actually like Bam Adebayo for a 1.5 unit play, but I didn't want to have 2 units wrapped up on the Miami Heat in case they got smoked. We don't need to lose in 2 units on the Miami Heat. Also, it's Bam Adebayo. I'm not ready to lose 2 units on it. My final 2 plays, then we'll get out of here, are both Detroit Pistons. I know, weird, but I like the value on both these 2 guys. The first one is a 1 unit play on Tobias Harris over 13.5 points, -110 on BetMGM. Now, I don't know if I'd play this at 14.5. I don't think it goes there. I've been wanting to get involved in Tobias Harris. I've just been trying to find the right spot for it. Why? Because he's been pretty bad to start the season shooting the basketball, but I'm confident that will eventually change. Tobias Harris, love him or hate him, he's better than what he's shown so far this season. And here's the 4 games he's played: 13, 10, 8, and 9 points. Now you see the volume: 13, 9, 11, and 11 field goal attempts. So he's averaging 11. And he's playing 35 minutes per game. The issue, and I have it there, shooting 34%, 18% from 3. Like, if you think on the season Tobias Harris shoots 18% from 3, go play the lottery, because that's just not happening. He's a much better shooter than that. I don't know what he is historically, but I would imagine in his time with the Sixers, I would guess he was probably around I don't know, let's guess. I'll look it up right now. He's probably around a 36% shooter, if I had to guess, from a 3. Last year, he shot 35%, year before 38%. So yeah, about 36%, league average. The volume's been there for Tobias. It's just been knocking down shots. And you know what? Where does he make his return to tonight? Philadelphia. The place is going to boo him. We know that. Philly fans don't love Tobias. And you know what? A guy on the road getting booed, I think Tobias uses that energy a little bit. And I think the volume is going to continue to be there. If not, we see a little bit more here today. And so, look, I'm going to bank on some positive regression for Tobias Harris. Last year, when Tobias saw 8+ field goal attempts, he averaged 17.5 points per game, going over in 70% of games. So look, the volume has been there for him. The Nick Nurse led defense for the Sixers, not the Raptors, his ex team, is going to be trying to limit Cade Cunningham as much as you can. I think Tobias will get some open looks from three, and I think he can take some of these guys off the dribble. Also, not afraid of any of that Sixers paint defense with Andre Drummond down there. I think he's able to drive to the basket, get some looks, and hopefully starts to make some looks. So I really like Tobias Harris over in points. I think he has his first big game of the season. Another guy that I think could sneakily score 20+. So if you want a Bam Adebayo and Tobias Harris, nasty 20+ parlay. Wouldn't be shocked if that hits. I really like that one. My final play, another half unit play. A reminder that the Heat plus 2.5 was a half unit. Is Malik Beasley, 10+ points at plus 140 on Bet365, a half unit play. Now, I was looking at trying to take Malik Beasley's over in points. The problem was it was a 7.5 or 8.5 on books, and it was like minus 130. Now, the books are going to release lines probably later if you're talking about like DraftKings or FanDuel, but BetMGM, Bet365, Caesars, ESPN Bet, all had lines for them. They were all juiced at 7.5 or 8.5. I'll take the shot at 10+ points at plus 140. I'd personally play this to plus 100. Get plus money on this. If it's not plus money, I probably wouldn't take it. Beasley this season, you've looked at his numbers, 14, 13, 17, 3 points. He's attempted 13, 11, 10, and 12 field goal attempts. He's the number one guy. He's their sixth man off the bench for this Pistons offense. Now, last game, what happened? You had 12 field goal attempts, only 3 points. What the heck happened? He shot 1 for 12. Obviously, that can happen. You bet on a guy, and he just doesn't make shots. Look, I can't do anything about that. But he did come on Twitter yesterday and say, hey, one game doesn't define me. Shoot or shoot. So you think he's not going to come out here and try to continue to be aggressive. He's confident in his shot, and I'm confident he continues to fire it up. And I don't hate this matchup against the Sixers. I like him in this second unit. I wouldn't love him as much in the first unit because that's going to be overlapping with guys like Cade Cunningham, Jaden Ivey, and Tobias Harris, maybe. But with that second unit, we're talking about guys like Isaiah Stewart and Simone Fontecchio and Ron Holland. Those are three guys. Ron Holland literally is afraid to shoot a three-pointer. So, look, they'll leave him wide open, and I don't know if he's going to honestly shoot it. I've seen him pass up many of them. And so Beasley's got the green light on here. They run some plays for him in that second unit. We've seen so far in 3 games, the Sixers have allowed 6 players off the bench to score 10 or more points. They face the Bucks, Raptors, and Pacers. The Bucks don't really have any good bench players besides Bobby Portis. The Pacers have some. They had 2. I think Obi Toppin and McConnell got 10. And the Raptors bench is full of no-names. And I think 3 of those guys scored 10 or more points. Look, I think that this bench unit for the Pistons isn't great. I think Beasley once again gets the volume. And look, he's getting the volume. We just have to ask him to make shots. The last time he was in Philly, he made 6 3-pointers. Obviously, that was with the Bucks. But last year, when he attempted between 8 to 12 field goal attempts, which I'm pretty confident he falls somewhere in the 8 to 12 mark. I don't think he goes above 12. If he does, we probably cash easily. But between 8 to 12 last year, he averaged 13.5 points per game, scoring 10+ points in about 70% of games. At plus 140, I don't think this closes near plus 140. I think it closes probably at plus 100. Anything about plus money, I would take it. I like Beasley for just a half unit for him to score 10 or more points of the Detroit Pistons. Malik Beasley, we're rooting for you. So those are my favorite picks of the day. I know it's a longer video, but hey, I want to give all my analysis for you guys. We're going to be locked in rest of the NBA season, delivering some winners for you. Let's have a historic season. Confidence starts tonight. Tatum, we need some points from you. And like I said, there's going to be a good chance of some added plays. I like the slate today. I'm not going to be afraid to play some lines that I think are a little bit short. Even if we have a big card, it is what it is. If there's plays I think that out there that are winners, I'll keep firing them. So check the pin comment for any added plays. Should have them all live probably by 1 p.m. Eastern time. Have a great day. Good luck on your picks. Let's have a night. See you in the next one. Peace.